I wonder how many wives there are in the world who would actually murder their husbands if it was positively guaranteed they would get away with it. Quite a few. Here is one way that is worth considering. Go out and buy 13 oysters in the shell. Bury one of them in the soil of a potted plant for 48 hours. Then dig it up and squeeze just one drop of its juice onto each of the 6 oysters you are serving to your beloved spouse for supper that evening. Your own 6 you leave alone. Later on, I promise you, the wretched man will be smitten with shellfish poisoning so virulent that he will succumb before dawn breaks. And not one finger of blame will be pointed at you. The poor fellow ate a bad oyster, and that's all they'll ever be able to say about it. Now watch this story. Mr. Appleby was about to open his 4th antique shop. His rather unusual methods of business had got him into the habit of disposing of a wife and a shop in a different town every few years. Mr. Appleby hated to sell anything. He loved his bric-a-brac. Consequently, 3 successive marriages to 3 well-to-do ladies had to date made good his losses. Appleby Antiques absorbed other people's capital.
You don't believe in bad luck, Mrs.?
Miss.
I'm not open for business yet.
Oh, dear, I've seen just the thing I need.
What?
That. It's perfect for a friend I loathe.
I shall be open tomorrow.
How much?
It's not for sale. Not till tomorrow.
You remind me of my father.
Really?
Yes. He was a stickler, everything in its time and place.
Please.
What?
A cigarette.
Oh, ash never hurt a rug.
I couldn't be there. It's far too... Everything's at 6s and 7s. I'm terribly sorry, ma'am.
Miss Sturgis.
Very well. Miss, if you insist.
You seem rather attached to that awful rug.
That's sentimental value. That's all.
You positively can't bring yourself to sell the vase until tomorrow?
No, not till I'm straight. I'm sorry.
Oh, pity. My friend would have hated it so much. But I'm prepared to pay a good price, Mr. Appleby. I'm not without money. Shall we say I'm one of the fortunate few? Perhaps I'll pop by again tomorrow.
By all means, do.
Hello again. Have you cracked a bottle of champagne over it yet?
What?
The shop. It's the official opening day, isn't it?
Yes, but no champagne. No.
Pretty. I imagine you still have that unspeakable vase. Oh, yes. It's even worse than I thought. Perfect. Right, how much?
Well, it's not for sale, no, as a matter of fact.
Oh, come now, Mr. Appleby, we mustn't be silly. You have a living to make. Besides, I'm sure you're dying to get rid of it. I know I would be.
You see, Please, Miss Sturgis, would you come through?
Oh. How sweet. You remembered my name.
I have rather a good memory.
Really? Oh. You're obviously very tidy.
Yes. I like things in order.
Just like my father. Obsessive.
I was saying...
Oh, yes, so you were.
I only sell objets d'art.
What?
Works of art.
What, this junk?
Oh, please. My shop is my life, and furthermore, it is the policy of the shop never to sell anything, unless the prospective purchaser shows a true appreciation of the article in question and can assure it the care and attention to which it is entitled.
Really? Then you must be flat broke.
Oh, no, I wouldn't say that.
Well, you can't make a living.
Oh, I survive, but that's not the point. If I sell, I must be quite sure that the article goes to a good home. Any other policy would be a betrayal, a desecration.
What an unusual man you are, Mr. Appleby. Fascinating. Of course, I was only teasing about the vase. My friend will adore it, cherish it. But I must go. I'm keeping you.
No, I hope I haven't kept you.
Oh, no. I'm a woman of leisure. I don't have to work for my living. May I? Yes. You know, it's quite uncanny. You even dress like my father.
You were with him to the last?
Yes. Yes, I was.
Then if I may say so, Miss Sturgis, you deserve your reward because, well, a woman such as yourself could have married at almost any time and left the nursing of an aged father to someone else. You must have made a considerable sacrifice.
Well, I don't deny I've had my dreams, Mr. Appleby. But that's all they were. I dare say all they'll ever be now.
I don't see why.
Because I've never met the man who could fit those dreams.
No?
Never. I'm hardly a simpering schoolgirl anymore, am I?
Well, that isn't the way I would have
You
expected.
see, I know my bank balance would outweigh my looks. I'm a realist, Mr. Appleby. But I admit that what I yearn for most is a decent, respectable man who would devote himself to me and make the memory of my dear father a living thing. Oh, please, don't say anything. I must go. I've said too much already.
I'd given up hope. 3 days and you didn't call in. Why didn't you?
Oh, well, I felt we both needed time to think about our friendship. I know I did.
And have you?
Yes, I've thought about it a great deal. I'm sure you have too.
Yes. Well, I remembered what you'd said about your father and how you'd always hoped you'd meet a man like him.
I'd nearly given up hope. I've...
Martha?
Yes.
I believe you've met that man.
Do you, Arthur? Do you?
Yes. Yes, I do, with all my heart. The truth is, I'm very lonely. I believe you are, too.
Perhaps I am.
Oh, Martha, I'd give you respect, tenderness. Could you, I mean, would you marry me?
You've made up your mind?
Absolutely.
I still believe it to be a somewhat premature decision, Miss Sturgis. If your father were alive...
But he isn't, is he?
No, quite.
I'm sure you'll approve of him when you see him. I did.
Come in. Ah, Dominic, dear boy.
Mr. Appleby, Father.
Mr. Appleby.
Mr. Gainsborough?
Arthur, dearest. Mr. Gainsborough knows about us. You can trust him completely. He's been our family solicitor for years.
I didn't quite know what to think when Mr. Gainsborough telephoned me this morning.
Well, don't you worry, dear. Everything's arranged.
Do sit down, Mr. Appleby.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dominic. Now, our valued client, Miss Sturgis, has intimated to us her intentions towards you. Marriage, that is. My congratulations.
Thank you.
And while she agrees with me that her fortune might well be part of her attraction,
Oh,
she
no.
realizes, of course, that that is not so with you.
Quite.
Mr. Appleby, have you been married before?
Yes.
Divorced?
Good heavens, no.
Ah, good. Forgive me, the question may have seemed somewhat impertinent, but in these days of moral laxity, I myself am perhaps somewhat old-fashioned.
No,
but
I quite agree with you.
Good. That's settled then. Now, we act not only as Miss Sturgis's solicitors, but also as her trustees. And she has instructed us to make certain adjustments in your favor to the deed of trust.
But that's wonderful.
Yes, it is. You're a fortunate man, Mr. Appleby. Still think it's all been a bit hasty, don't you?
It's love, Father.
Oh.
Well, don't look so gloomy. The old boy doesn't get a penny till she dies.
Just off to the shop, dear.
So soon?
9:30. I always open at 10 precisely.
Oh, I didn't mean that.
What then?
Well, when I said so soon, I meant... How long have we been married, Arthur?
3 weeks.
And already you're forgetting your promise, aren't you?
No, I don't think so, dear. No.
To devote yourself to me.
But I am devoted, dear. I am.
But you can't be, dear, if you're at your shop.
A man must work.
My man mustn't, dear. My money is more than enough. Your income wouldn't keep me in cigarettes.
I do wish you wouldn't smoke.
Are you criticizing me?
No, it's just, no.
Good. That's settled then. This morning, no shop. You'll help me with the crossword, then I shall cook you a nice lunch to build you up.
I don't take lunch, dear. I did say.
Yes, I know you did, dear. But a husband who only eats soft-boiled eggs is never going to satisfy me. Eat up, there's a good boy. Horse ready?
I don't take condiments.
My father was a pernickety eater. So like you. I'm fine, Mr. Gainsborough. A joyful bride. Arthur's become so devoted. Yes. Yes, I'll ring tomorrow night. Same time. Bye. Oh. I'm just going up, Arthur. Oh, you and your glass of water. My father always had a glass of water at 9 o'clock.
It settles my stomach, dear.
Yes. Bedtime.
I'm ready, Arthur. Do come along, Arthur. Joe.
Yes, dear.
Anything nice?
Nothing much. Just a postcard.
Who's it from?
I don't know. It's for you.
Oh. Suit? You're not going to the shop, are you?
Oh, yes, I think I must. Today.
Really? Oh, very well. But you will have to make up for it tomorrow. Oh, it's from Isabel. Do you remember I sent her that awful vase? Oh, Arthur, imagine. But for her, we might never have met. Off you go. Back by 6 sharp.
Client informs us 3 months in arrears rent. Above mentioned property. Unless hear from you by return of post. Forced to take immediate action.
Appy? Appy? I'm sure you heard me the first time.
I do wish you wouldn't call me Happy, dear.
But it suits you, dear. You don't have to hang up your clothes, you know. I don't mind.
I like things tidy.
I know you do, Appy, dear. I don't. Come along. I'm looking for a distinct improvement tonight.
Your telephone call to Mr. Gainsborough?
Yes, Happy dear.
I don't see why you have to telephone him every night.
Don't you? I do.
Martha? I'd like a glass of water, please.
You would?
Yes.
Very well, Happy dear. Is that what happened to the others?
Others? What others?
Your other 3 wives, Appy.
What do you mean? I don't understand.
Oh, surely you can't forget 3 wives just like that. Unless, of course, I've come to mean so much to you that you can't bear to think about the others. That would be lovely. But...
I made it quite clear I'd been married before.
Of course you did, dear. But you didn't say how many times, did you? Mr. Gainsborough decided after we were married to check. Everything he found out about you only made you seem, in my eyes, an ideal partner.
Ideal?
The moment I first saw you, I knew you instinctively for what you really were.
Knew? How could you?
I've told you many times. You're the perfect image of my father. In everything, Appy.
Don't call me that.
From now on, I shall call you whatever I like. You're insufferably neat, just as he was, priggish and pompous. I hated him all my life for what he was and what he did to my mother.
What?
Married her for her money, made every day a nightmare, and then killed her for what was left of her fortune.
killed her.
Oh, do you imagine you're the only man who's ever been capable of that? Yes, Appy dear. He killed her. Murdered her, if you prefer. Using a slip rug on a polished floor to make it look as though she'd broken her neck. A method strangely similar to your own, is it not? Aren't you going to drink your water?
What happened to him?
Oh, Mr. Gainsborough thinks you know that perfectly well. He thinks you read of the case and copied it. There were no witnesses, of course, but Mr. Gainsborough was my mother's solicitor. He became suspicious, demanded a hearing. A doctor made it clear in court how my father could have killed her and made it look like an innocent fall. But before a decision could be made, my father died of a heart attack.
What has all this to do with us?
When he was gone, I swore that I would find a man exactly like him and make him suffer as my mother suffered. I knew, of course, such a man would only marry me for my money, and I determined he should never see a penny of it until I was dead. And I won't be dead for a long, long time, Appy dear, because you're going to care for me until my last possible breath.
How can you make me do that?
A man whose wife can send him to the gallows ought to know that, surely.
You can't prove anything.
3 wives, the same methods, is too much for coincidence, dear.
If I did it 3 times, I can do it again.
Ah, but you see, that's where my arrangements come in.
Arrangements?
Mr. Gainsborough has all the documents about your marriages, the way your wives died, the way you always got the bequests at the right time to pay your shop's debts, and a letter from me saying that in the event of my death, an inquest is to be held immediately. So, you see...
No.
Yes, you're going to devote yourself to me, Arthur Appleby, for the rest of your life. You're going to care for and cherish me. And eventually I just may, hand over the letter and all the evidence to you. Now I'm going upstairs.
Martha! Martha!
Oh, one more thing you must remember is that if I don't telephone Mr. Gainsborough before 9:15 every evening and report that I'm fit and well, he has instructions to ring me. I'll use the telephone in the bedroom. Ah, there.
Wait. Wait. Yes.
Appleby?
Yes.
I wish to speak to Mrs. Appleby.
Really? Well, she can't speak to you just now. What is it?
This is Gainsborough, Appleby. I give you 10 seconds to have your wife at this telephone. Do you understand?
It's for you.
The 10 seconds are up, Appleby. Do you understand?